Pay attention to the security camera footage on your screen. The timestamp is December 24th, 2024, 11:42 p.m. Christmas Eve. The location is the rear parking lot of the darker side of the Oak Hills apartment complex in San Antonio, Texas. The camera is grainy, but the subjects are clear. Standing near the black sedan is 19-year-old Camila Mendoza Olmos. She is wearing a green top and dark jeans. She is barefoot. She is hugging herself, shivering not just from the December chill, but from terror. Standing next to her is a man who represents safety, Officer Daniel Reynolds, a 15-year veteran of the San Antonio Police Department, a man with a badge, a gun, and the trust of the entire city. For the last month, the official police narrative has been tragic but simple. They told the public that Camila Mendoza Olmos was a troubled teenager who walked away from her family dinner after an argument. They told us she wandered into a remote field 3 miles away. They told us she took her own life with a weapon she somehow acquired on the street. They ruled it a suicide. They closed the case. They told her parents to go home and grieve. But the simulation has crashed, because the footage you are watching right now, released only yesterday by a source inside the department, proves that the suicide was a lie, constructed to hide a monster. Camila did not walk into that field. She was driven there. Watch Officer Reynolds closely at the 002 mark. A police officer conducting a routine welfare check calls dispatch. He logs his location. He turns on his body camera. Reynolds does none of this. Instead, look at his head. A snaps left. He snaps right. He is scanning the windows of the apartment complex. He is checking the site. He is nervous. This is not the body language of a protector. It is the body language of a predator, ensuring the trap is clean. At 003, he reaches for the back door handle. He does not ask her if she is okay. A sharp, silent command. Get in. Camila hesitates for a fraction of a second. She looks at him. In that split second, her brain is fighting a war between instinct and conditioning. Her instinct says, run, but her conditioning says this is a police officer. He is here to help. Conditioning wins. She climbs into the back seat. The door closes. The footage ends. And with that heavy, metallic click, Camila Mendoza Olmos vanishes from the civilized world. She is now in the exclusive custody of a man who has no intention of taking her to a station, a hospital, or her home. Officer Reynolds gets into the driver's seat. He does not turn on his lights. He does not turn on his sirens. He slowly rolls the cruiser out of the lot, disappearing into the Christmas Eve darkness. This video is the smoking gun that has turned a closed suicide case into a national manhunt. Because as of this morning, Officer Daniel Reynolds is not at his desk. He is not on patrol. He is gone. And the department is finally realizing that the man they protected 4 weeks was the one they should have arrested on day 1. The timeline of deception. To understand the magnitude of this cover-up, you have to look at the calendar. The timeline is not just a sequence of dates, it is a sequence of failures. Camila Mendoza Olmos was reported missing on December 24th at 8 p.m. Her family realized she wasn't at the holiday dinner. They called her phone. It went straight to voicemail. By December 25th, Christmas morning, the entire community of San Antonio was mobilizing. Strangers were walking through brush printing flyers and sharing her photos on every social media platform. They were looking for a runaway. They were looking for a girl who might be hurt. But while the community was searching, Officer Daniel Reynolds was working. We have obtained the shift logs from the San Antonio Police Department. On December 25th and 26th, Officer Reynolds was technically on patrol. He was driving the very same vehicle you saw in the footage. Think about that. He was likely driving past the search parties. He was listening to the dispatch calls about the missing girl. He knew exactly where she was, because he was the last person to see her alive. He wasn't searching for her. He was monitoring the search to make sure no one got too close to the truth. On December 27th, a hiker found Camila's body in a field 3 miles from her home. The location is important. It is a remote area accessible only by a dirt service road. A road that is gated. A road that requires a key to access. A key that every patrol officer carries on their belt. The scene was staged to look like a tragedy. A ghost gun was found near her hand. There was no note. The medical examiner lying on the police report provided by the first responders ruled it a suicide. The narrative was perfect. Troubled teen. Holiday depression. Case closed. The department released a statement expressing condolences. They wanted the story to go away. But the simulation has crashed because the timestamps don't add up. The autopsy report estimated her time of death within a 12-hour window that overlaps perfectly with the time. Officer Reynolds was off radar during his shift on the night of the 25th. His GPS data for that night is missing. The department claims it was a technical glitch. We call it a blackout. And here is the smoking gun. The ghost gun found at the scene. Sources inside the department are leaking that it wasn't Camila's. It was a drop gun, a weapon with no serial number, the kind seized in raids and supposed to be destroyed. How does a 19-year-old girl with no criminal record get a police-seized ghost gun? She doesn't. But a veteran officer does. And then, the final insult. On December 28th, exactly 24 hours after her body was found, and the suicide ruling was made public, Officer Daniel Reynolds submitted a request for emergency leave. He didn't call it fleeing. He called it a scheduled vacation. He cleared out his locker. He handed in his department-issued phone, which had been wiped clean, and he boarded a flight. The police department told the media he is unavailable for comment. They are trying to buy time. They are trying to figure out how to explain the footage we just showed you. They want you to believe that Camila Mendoza Olmos walked into a field and died alone. But the video proves she didn't walk. She was taken, and the man who took her is currently sitting on a beach, believing he got away with murder. But he forgot about the cloud. He forgot about the backup servers. And we are going to show you the digital trail he thought he deleted. We are going to expose the text messages sent from his burner phone that connect him to the ghost gun. The suicide was a lie. The vacation is a flight from justice. And the hunt is on. The digital crumbs and the manhunt officer, Daniel Reynolds, believed he had committed the perfect crime. He believed that because he was a cop, he knew how to hide. He knew about cell tower triangulation. Therefore, he left his personal phone at home on the night of December 24th. He knew about automatic license plate readers. Therefore, he took back roads that he knew were He knew about ballistere 40. He used a ghost gun, a weapon with no serial number that could never be traced back to him. But he made one fatal mistake. He forgot that in 2024, silence is louder than noise. When the FBI joined the manhunt on January 2nd, Operation Blue Christmas, they didn't look for what Reynolds did. They looked for what he stopped doing. They analyzed his digital footprint. Reynolds had a secondary cloud account linked to an old tablet he hadn't used in 2 years. He thought it was dormant, but it was auto-syncing. On the night of December 24th, at 1:13 a.m. roughly 90 minutes after he drove Camila out of that parking lot, his burner phone connected to a public Wi-Fi network at a gas station 40 miles north of the city. He didn't make a call. He didn't send a text. He uploaded a photo. It was a photo of a shallow grave. He wasn't documenting a crime scene. He was keeping a trophy. The auto-sync feature on his tablet caught the upload before he deleted it from the burner. That photo gave investigators the exact GPS coordinates of where he had initially taken her before moving her body to the field. It proved premeditation. It proved he didn't just snap. Planned the manhunt by January 5th. Daniel Reynolds was the most wanted man in Texas. He wasn't on a beach in Mexico. He was hiding in plain sight. He had driven his personal vehicle to a long-term parking lot in Houston, then paid cash for a bus ticket to Chicago. He was staying in a cheap motel under the name Thomas Reed. He shaved his head. He grew a beard. He looked like a drifter. But he couldn't stop watching the news. He needed to know if they had found the footage. On January 7th, a motel clerk recognized him, not from his face, but from his walk. The cop walk. The way he scanned the room when he entered the lobby, the way he stood with his back to the wall. The clerk called the tip line. The arrest at 3 a.m. On January 8th, a SWAT team breached room 214. They didn't knock. They used flashbangs. Reynolds was sleeping with a loaded 9mm under his pillow. He reached for it, but he didn't. Fire. He looked at the 12 laser sights on his chest, and he realized the badge wouldn't save him this time. He surrendered, as they walked him out in handcuffs. He didn't look down. He looked directly at the body cameras of the arresting officers. Es Miled. It was the smile of a man who still believed he could manipulate the system. He believed that a brother in blue wouldn't testify against him. He was wrong. The interrogation lasted 14 hours. Reynolds sat in the chair, calm, arrogant. He used his right to remain silent for the first 4 hours. Then, the lead detective placed a laptop on the table. He played the video from the apartment complex parking lot. Reynolds watched himself look left. He watched himself look right. He watched himself open the door. He didn't panic. He leaned back and said, "She asked for a ride. I gave her a ride. I dropped her off at the gas station. What happened after that isn't my problem." He was sticking to the lie. He didn't know about the cloud photo. The detective closed the laptop. Then he slid a printed photograph across the table. The photo from the cloud, the photo of the grave. Reynolds stopped smiling. His face went gray. He knew it was over. The trial and the truth trial began in July 2025. It was the highest profile case in San Antonio history. The prosecution argued that Reynolds had been stalking Camila for weeks. They found unauthorized searches in the police database for her name, her address, her family members. He had been using his badge to hunt her. On December 24th, he didn't just stumble upon her. He waited for her. He knew she would be leaving her family's apartment. He timed it. The defense tried to argue mental break. They tried to argue PTSD from the job, but the jury saw the footage. They saw the calculation. They saw the therefore logic of a predator. He checked for witnesses, therefore he knew it was wrong. He turned off his body cam, therefore he planned to kill her. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours, guilty on all counts: kidnapping, capital murder, abuse of power. The sentencing Daniel Reynolds stood before the judge. He wore an orange jumpsuit, stripped of the uniform he had used as a weapon. The judge looked at him and said, "You took an oath to protect the vulnerable. Instead, you used that oath to trap them. You are not a police officer. You are a wolf who bought a sheep costume." He was sentenced to death. The aftermath: Camila Mendoza Olmos is buried in a beautiful plot in San Antonio. Her family visits every Sunday, but they are broken. Her mother told reporters, "We taught her to run to the police if she was in trouble. We taught her that the uniform meant safety. We were wrong." The San Antonio Police Department has since overhauled its protocols. Now, every patrol car has a GPS tracker that cannot be disabled by the driver. Every body camera auto-activates when a door is opened. They call it Camila's Law, but laws cannot bring her back. Look at the footage one last time. Look at Camila hesitating. Look at her looking at the officer's face. She is looking for reassurance. She is looking for a reason to trust him. And because he is wearing a badge, she finds it. She gets in the car. That moment, that single decision to trust authority cost her everything. It serves as a brutal reminder that evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like help. Sometimes it drives a marked car. And sometimes the person you are running to is the very person you should be running from. Camila Mendoza Olmos was 19 years old. She had dreams. She had a future, but she met a man who believed his power gave him the right to take it all. He is in a cage now. She is in the ground, and the trust of an entire city died in the back of that patrol car on Christmas Eve.